Greetings and welcome, everyone. I'm Tom Costabile, ASME's Executive Director and CEO. Thank you so much for joining in virtually from wherever you are today. We are so pleased to welcome you to what's going to be a very special event. And the Impact.Engineered 2020 organizing team has put together great keynotes, curated discussions and conversations, opportunities to connect with colleagues at the intersection of engineering and global development, as well as the awards for the celebration of world-class achievements of these 2 days. All of the great programming we have in store aims to serve, support, and advance engineering for sustainable global development. As you may know, ASME's mission is to advance engineering for the benefit of humanity. Today, with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals in view, engineers have a clear roadmap and a clear mandate for offering our expertise to the world, and ASME is thrilled to be a part of this critical movement. I want to offer a heartfelt thanks to the great engineering global development team that has worked so hard to bring Impact.Engineered 2020 to the world this year. Iana, James, Marilyn, Mariella, and Anand, and the ASME programs and philanthropy teams, my heartfelt thanks to all of you. My thanks as well to the Impact.Engineered 2020 sponsors and partners. The truth is that we could not do this work without you. So again, on behalf of all of us at ASME, I offer a heartfelt thanks. Let me also offer a word of thanks to our great Impact.Engineered 2020 keynote presenters, Asha Varghese of the Caterpillar Foundation and Jenny Frankel-Reed of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. From what I understand, these 2 keynote presentations are truly not to be missed. Ladies, my thanks to both of you for sharing your leadership and expertise and insight with all of us. And finally, our sincere thanks and congratulations to all of this year's Impact.Engineered 2020 award nominees. You are simply brilliant. We hope you will take pride in being part of such rare company. For our part, ASME cannot be prouder to play a part in sharing your innovations with the world. Which reminds me, please join us for the award celebration tomorrow to learn more about the Impact.Engineered 2020 award nominees and their innovations, as well as to see who takes home the top honors this year. In closing, let me just say the work of sustainable global development is truly at the heart of engineering today and tomorrow. So it simply has to be at the heart of ASME as well. This expertise, your expertise, is indispensable for our future. All I can say is thank you. One last thing before I yield the floor. Everyone gathered here is invited to be part of making Impact.Engineered a reality. We hope you'll consider joining ASME as a partner in a great community of colleagues at the heart of what is vital, creative, diverse, and a growing ecosystem. We would love to have you be part of it. To find out more, reach out to any member of Impact.Engineered organizing team.
Thank you, Tom, for those warm words. We're really glad that you could join us today. As Tom noted, we will be showcasing some of the most important engineering innovations of 2020 at Impact.Engineered. In particular, I'd like to highlight our 2020 iShow cohort from Kenya, India, and the United States, who are showcasing their innovations in the Tech Gallery, which is located in our exhibit hall. As a recap, to go to the exhibit hall, please use the navigation on the left-hand side and click on the exhibit hall tab. The exhibit hall includes our Tech Gallery participants, our Siemens Design Challenge winners, our Rising Star nominees, and of course, our incredible sponsors. You're welcome to visit their booths throughout the event, learn more about their work, message each exhibitor, and even set up meetings during or after Impact.Engineered. So now I'd like to welcome you to our first session. Realizing the vision of the Decade of Action requires building on the lessons learned from the preceding decades. Our Ecosystems for Social Impact session will introduce the strategies and actors delivering the 2030 agenda through technology, impactful investment, innovative partnerships, and other mechanisms. The private sector is a key driver for a sustainable future, and we're thrilled to see the increased integration and investment of major firms in social impact. One example of a progressive company that is leading the way is Caterpillar, the world's leading manufacturer of construction and mining equipment, diesel and natural gas engines, industrial gas turbines, and diesel-electric locomotives. Caterpillar employs over 100,000 people and is serious about corporate responsibility to give back to the communities in which they live and work. The Caterpillar Foundation is focused on improving the lives of people around the world through investments in human and sustainable infrastructure. Together, Caterpillar and the Caterpillar Foundation are helping to build stronger individuals, stronger communities, and stronger economies. To date, the Caterpillar Foundation has invested about $770 million in communities around the world. This is why it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Asha Varghese, President of the Caterpillar Foundation. In this role, Asha is responsible for leading the foundation strategy, which focuses on building resilient communities by investing in the skills people need to join the modern workforce and the natural and vital infrastructure that they rely upon. Prior to joining Caterpillar, Asha was at GE for 15 years, with her most recent role as the Director of Global Healthcare at the GE Foundation, the philanthropic arm of the General Electric Company. Asha holds a bachelor's degree in computer engineering and computer science from the University of Louisville, Kentucky, and an MBA from Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management. She's a graduate of the 2018 Presidential Leadership Scholar Program and currently serves on the board of Covenant House in Chicago, where she resides. Asha's incredible background and diverse experience gives her a unique perspective on engineering pathways to achieve the SDGs. Asha, thank you so much for setting aside some time to share your insights with us today. Welcome. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. It is an honor to be a part of Impact.Engineered today, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to the ASME community. As you just saw in the video, the Caterpillar Foundation shares the belief that a community of engineers and innovators can solve the world's biggest challenges and build a better future for everyone. We are all pragmatic optimists. Before I dive into pragmatic optimism and why that's relevant in today's times, I would like to recognize the fact that the year 2020 has been an unprecedented year for all of us. And as we get to the end of this tumultuous year, and with high hopes that 2021 will magically get better, we all know that's far from reality. As difficult as this year has been for us, there has been many silver linings of COVID-19. And in looking at the agenda for this conference, it gives me great hope that as pragmatic optimists, we do have a better and brighter future. As a young girl growing up between India and rural America, I really didn't think life would take such interesting turns for me. I'm sure many of you who are of Asian descent can relate to the natural forces within our culture that drives us to a STEM-focused career. But what I realized early on in life is that these opportunities don't come easy for everyone. Inequities in education, barriers due to gender norms, financial limitations, and the list goes on. As a daughter of an immigrant, learning to find my own voice and purpose while trying to balance two varied cultures, I would still consider myself privileged in many ways to have gotten these opportunities. Looking back, it is this realization that sparked in me the passion of problem solving with a focus on social good. As engineers, we strive to find solutions to problems, whether it's putting someone on the moon or finding solutions to everyday inconveniences. But it is this pragmatic optimism that makes us look at the glass as neither half full nor half empty, but rather both. Doesn't matter how you see it, but it's what you do with it. We need to start acting on it, be it small, change this narrative. My journey as an immigrant, as an engineer, in trying to change the opportunity gap narrative, started with an idea to leverage our own skills in STEM education and launched a hands-on after-school program. 15 odd years later, now as the president of the Caterpillar Foundation, I'm still looking at the glass as neither half empty nor full. Part of my work is to make sure that we innovate in philanthropy as much as our engineers at Caterpillar. We are all doers at CAT. We solve problems and we get the job done. And I think all of you watching this can relate to that very statement. So how do we go about making a difference? Over time, corporate foundations have gone through an evolution in the way they do business. In the old days, foundations would write checks to many different groups that fund their work across a wide range of social endeavors. Today, we are much more focused in our giving, aligning ourselves to not only leverage foundation resources, but also company resources, and seeking out partners who share our vision to build more sustainable and resilient communities around the world. We call this corporate shared value. We seek innovators who can leverage our shared expertise, our technology, partnership to grow our impact. We fundamentally believe in sticking to what we're good at and using it to do good. In other words, identify the unique value proposition that you and your organization bring to the market and apply it to the way that you think about social impact. At Caterpillar, we're builders as a company. We build physical infrastructure around the world. And as the foundation, we apply that same approach to build a stronger human infrastructure across our communities by helping people acquire skills for tomorrow's workforce, investing in sustainable infrastructure that balances the community and the environment. Just this year, we partnered with Conservation International in Indonesia to protect mangroves, which are critically important to coastal biodiversity. And it serves ecologically important species like shrimp. But shrimp aquaculture has driven the loss of up to 50% of mangroves globally, and it causes vulnerable extreme weather events, and at risk of exposure to harmful waste due to shrimp farms. Over the last 10 years, the average cost of natural disaster in Indonesia is estimated to be about 1.5 billion. By developing this innovative approach with shrimp farmers called Climate Smart Shrimp, this program is not only restoring shrimp farms and improving water quality, it's also increasing production and profitability of the local farmers, which ultimately increases their income. This can be a scalable model to help other countries meet their SDG and climate targets. It can translate to many thousands of hectares restored, higher income for more than 30,000 shrimp farmers, and advanced livelihood for many more. It is very critical for us as a foundation to not only build such sustainable and scalable solutions, but to strengthen the communities where we live, work, and play. Restoring such an ecosystem and building such economies that are strong can lead to a whole new field of engineering innovation. We need engineers to engage with us, solve these challenges, need engineers to think differently about concepts like natural infrastructure. Having a strong framework is important, but it's not enough to put into action and realize impact. So what gives? As a foundation, we have a long history focused in collaboration, and we've seen that most recently in our response to the pandemic. This crisis has amplified the need for more innovative partnerships that span across sectors, industries, and geographies. It required us to be nimble, give up control, and collaborate intentionally. It was important for us to approach our response with a global lens but have local impact, because this pandemic was and is borderless. It required us to give up control and be nimble to the requests we were getting from our partners on the ground. This one is so important because far too often, organizations deploy a narrow view of their desired impact and end up working in a silo, which ends up minimizing the overall result. We're backed by what we call doers in the community and local volunteers and nonprofits who have supported our communities at this exceptionally challenging time. Our employees rose to the occasion to give back using their talent, time, and resources. This pandemic has given us an opportunity to pause, to stay humble, and to truly understand the importance of innovation and collaboration in ways we have not done so before. We are a force multiplier and not just a funder. That's because we know this work cannot be done alone. There's a reason why the Caterpillar Foundation's tagline is called Together Stronger. We believe this to be true. We are stronger together by innovating together. 5 years ago, the world's leaders signed up to the UN Sustainable Development Goals with the mission of ending extreme poverty and building an equitable and sustainable economy for everyone by 2030. We are now just a decade away from the SDG deadline, and this year's pandemic has pushed us further behind schedule. To achieve the SDGs, we all need to think like engineers. We need to solve problems together as partners in practical and innovative ways that drive social change. This isn't just a job for the public sector or philanthropy. We need the private sector and the kind of talent that lives inside it, and that's you. To see the SDGs as part of their core responsibilities. Pragmatic optimism is about being nimble. It's about being willing to work with others, especially those that think differently from us. So to my fellow engineers, innovators, and professionals, join us in creating the engineered solutions that will achieve the SDGs. There's nothing we can't achieve when pragmatic optimists work together to make this world stronger. Thank you.
Thank you, Asha, for your reflections and continued commitment to innovative and practical approaches for improving human and sustainable infrastructure. We're honored to have you as one of the pragmatic optimists in our corner.